What up, it's your boy AJ.Muckkk back with another video. We're finna react to this Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man trailer breakdown by New Rockstars. If you watch my reaction, you know how I feel about the trailer. The race change was unnecessary. I'm stand by what I said. I don't care. That race change was so unnecessary, man. It's 3 days after New Year's. Hope you guys had a good New Year. Spend time with your families. I spent time with mine. I had a good time, bro. We're finna check this bad boy out. Before we get into the video, I ask you like, comment, subscribe, put a notification bell on so you never miss a video like this. Sounds good to you? Let's get into this bad boy.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and
What's
this is
going
a
on,
breakdown
Eric?
of the trailer of Marvel Animation's Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, coming to Disney Plus on January 29th with 10 episodes, starring Hudson Thames voicing a 15-year-old Peter Parker, Coleman Domingo as Norman Osborn, and a broadcast of Marvel cameos, including Charlie Cox as Daredevil voicing a 15-year-old Peter Parker, Coleman Domingo as...
Nah, bro. Still ain't it, bro. Still ain't it, man. Yeah, he may be a good voice. He may be a good voice actor. It may be a good storyline, but if that's the case, still why change it? You know, still why change it?
As Norman Osborn, and a broadcast of Marvel cameos, including Charlie Cox as Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio.
Okay. I like that. I didn't know that.
Including Charlie Cox as Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk. While this animated series is not expected to be linked to the live-action MCU, could that
hope
be
not.
a good thing to let the show breathe in its own corner of the universe? Let's break down what we found in this trailer.
Let it be its own universe.
Incredible Daredevil and Punisher inspired shirt designs exclusive at our merch store, nerdriot.shop, which if that was part of the best ways to support what we're doing here at New Rockstars. I'm going to be wearing it.
If this was part of the MCU, I wouldn't know what to do. That rhyme too. I wouldn't. Damn.
Throughout the new year, along with this Neil Nation, I just want to go home shirt, because that's how I'm always feeling. I just always want to go home. All right, we open this trailer in a comic book shop as we hear the classic Spider-Man theme song from the 1967 animated series, and we glide across some long boxes full of comic books. One box is labeled Marvel Comics.
I think it's Amazing Fantasy.
Spider-Man.
Amazing Fantasy.
The show is certainly inspired by some classic Silver Age comic book designs, while trying to make the world itself have a three-dimensional feel. Marvel Animation used Japanese-based Polygon Pictures to handle the animation utilizing CG technology.
That's pretty clean.
The proto spider suit from this show is an homage to Spider-Man's very first comic.
I told you, yes, Amazing Fantasy.
Number 15 in 1963.
I couldn't think of it in the reaction.
We will be getting...
I couldn't think of it in the reaction. Amazing 15. Okay, I have to remember that.
In his origin story, and similar to the way Sony's animated Spider-Verse films would use this original cover in different forms to introduce new Spider variants, here this universe's Peter Parker saves Harry Osborn. In early December, they actually released the first issue of Your Friendly Neighborhoods.
That's actually Harry. I've seen rumors that he's apparently I've seen that he's a transgender. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is,
Spider-Man, the comic book that takes place before the events of the series. It dives into Peter discovering his powers, as well as coming up with his superhero name and costume. They plan to release 5 issues total, with the second issue coming mid-January.
I like that suit, though. The suit in the back.
Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, written on lined notebook paper, and that is then covered in Sharpied doodles, something that we've seen from Miles Morales and Kamala Khan, and even Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker in the 2002 Sam Raimi film. But this paper tears away to show Peter waking up, and actually, he is upside down on his ceiling as we move through these vignettes as if we were reading an actual comic book. So again, Peter is voiced by Hudson Thames, who also voiced Peter Parker on the What If series, but while on What If, he was trying to emulate Tom Holland. Here, Hudson is bringing us an all-new version of Peter Parker. Originally, this show was conceived as Spider-Man freshman year, and many of us thought it would focus on the MCU's Peter Parker before his involvement with Iron Man and Captain America.
And that's what everyone thought. If they would have did that, that would have been nice. That would have been nice, just to give a little it will flesh out his character more, you know. It will flesh out Tom Holland's characters more as Spider-Man, because we really didn't know what his background is, but everyone knows what Spider-Man background is. We all know Uncle Ben dies, he gets bit by a radioactive spider. Yeah, but it would have been nice to delve deeper into his backstory, maybe find out who his Uncle Ben was, you know. It just
America Civil War, but we now know that this is a totally new universe that will show us this Peter Parker's origin as Spider-Man. And instead of Peter Parker finding a mentor in Tony Stark, he's going to find himself counseled by one Mr. Norman Osborn. We see Midtown High School. This is Peter's canonical high school, and it's typically depicted as this style of a brick building. Peter is greeted by Nico Minoru, a character from Marvel's Runaways, voiced here by Grace Song. In the comics, her parents turn out to be secretly evil, and she has blood magic powers that she channels through a magic staff. He also bumps into Pearl Penguin, voiced by by Kathy Ong. In the comics, she's Wave, a superhero from the Philippines who can control water. She calls him Petey, and he says, "That's him, all clumsy Petey Parky." And
I'm not gonna lie, Peter doesn't even look white, bro. He looks like Puerto Rican-ish. You know, he's like a darker shade of white, which is, I don't know if they did that intentionally, you know, for reasons, but I don't know. It doesn't bother me as much as Norman, though.
Concepts in his notebook. Again, a classic trope dating back to Sam Raimi's first Spider-Man film. Here, his suit designs have the underarm web wings, something that Steve Ditko drew for Spider-Man, starting with his first appearance in Amazing Fantasy 15. We also saw the web wings make an appearance in Spider-Man Homecoming. Lonnie Lincoln sits beside Peter at the lunch table. He's captain of the football team at Midtown High and voiced by Eugene Bird. In the comics, he becomes Tombstone. Their teacher name is Mr. Campbell, which we were wondering might be a reference to Bruce Campbell, who Sam Raimi loves and puts in nearly all of his movies, including the original 3 Spider-Man films. And the plan for the 4th Spider-Man movie was to reveal him as Quentin Beck, Mysterio. But obviously, this teacher doesn't look anything like Bruce Campbell. And we get our first look at his suit as he swings through the comic frame. It's very DIY, and it uses a hockey jersey. And in fact, later in this trailer, we hear someone mention wearing hockey pads, which is a reference to the line in The Dark Knight.
What's the difference between you and me?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
We see that the web fluid he uses is held in a canister under his backpack and runs into web shooters via the tubes on his arms. But obviously, you can see how all kinds of stuff could get snagged. You know, there's a certain sense in which
there's an ad. There's an ad. Okay. That was not a nice way to cut into the ad, Eric. Okay, let's get back into it, guys. Let's get back into it.
Rockstars. Now we hear the classic theme song, but with this really great hip-hop remix. Spider-Man saves Harry Osborn from
it's a hip-hop remix
as he's running from some kids who are chasing him, trying to grab him. Meanwhile, a streamer live streams Spider-Man after saving Harry, and we see all kinds of fun details in the comments that pop up on the stream. We see J.Muckkk. That dude looks tragic. There was actually a Marvel inker named John Wilcox who inked some issues of Spider-Man. Could be reference to him. Omega Toaster writes, "Kick his ass, Seabass." Kick his ass, Seabass. Obviously a line from Dumb and Dumber. And Hot Dogger writes, "Is that Bugman?" And Hippie Hamster, "The newest Avenger, Trash Man." All just roasting Spider-Man on his homespun appearance. The one and only 31. Been here since day one. You're about to blow up, Stevie. So obviously this isn't Peter's live stream, but just some kids live streaming themselves attacking someone, which, like, yikes. After Spider-Man ties them up, Stevie loses his...
Is it really far-fetched with the society we live in now? Not at all.
Day one is a proudly comment. The one and only 31. I'm unsubbing. Also, someone writes, "Why are you filming this, Stevie?" By Based Berry. And then we see a name, Lasagna Earth Theory. And I love that because a flat theory, not tasty enough. You got to get a couple layers of ricotta in between those layers. We also see an R. Taylor. There are a few R. Taylors associated with the Marvel Universe, like a stuntman and a video game co-director. But I wonder if it's just Rip Taylor. And then the comments here also mentioning how the stream is back up and must have gone down when Spider-Man picked them up, and then he restarted it after they were webbed up. And then something from Screwball. And Screwball is an actual social media influencer villain who made an appearance in the Spider-Man game. She's all about live streaming herself and getting famous, so it makes sense to see her lurking on other people's streams and trying to get them over to her channel. Writing, "If you want to see better content, check out my channel." Next, Spider-Man swings past an elevated train, making us wonder if he's gonna have to stop it at some point.
Hell
Spider-Man,
no.
Nico, and Harry Osborn hanging out playing board games. And then we see this universe's Aunt May, and she kind of looks like Marissa Tomei. Kari Wahlgren, recurring voice actor from Rick and Morty, is voicing Aunt May in the show. Then Peter swings.
Fun fact: I never watched Rick and Morty. Don't at me. Don't at me. I never watched it, but I would like to. I would like to.
Away from a bus crash that he just stopped, and not to physics nerd a Spider-Man trailer, but we are fairly certain that car stopping so suddenly, its back wheels came off the ground. I mean, it's still essentially a head-on collision, but I'm sure Peter did the math and he figured out a way to, like, offset the weight or something. Also, yes, catching the car before it hits the bus is the same move Peter Parker did in that YouTube video that Tony Stark showed him when he first met Peter in Queens and revealed that he knows he's Spider-Man.
See, it was meant for the, oh my god, it was meant for the prequel. It was meant to be a part of Tom Holland's character. They should have just kept that in.
Arsonist villain. Marvel is referring to this character as Butane, according to this press release. Next, this speedster could be James Sanders, aka Speed Demon, using some sort of tech to give him advanced speed, and then Peter backbends to dodge him, I guess recreating Neo's bullet dodge from the Matrix. Next, we see Oscorp Tower and a portrait of Norman Osborn with Captain America. Captain America isn't the only Marvel superhero cameo we can see on the show. More on that in a bit. And Norman says, "So you're Spider-Man." Spider-Man. We know that Norman will be acting as a mentor for Peter Parker in this series. Presumably, he'll know that he's Spider-Man as well, much like how in the MCU, Tony Stark figured out Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Norman is voiced by Coleman Domingo in this series, who shared at last summer's D23 that he's excited to portray Norman, saying, "To become part of the MCU as Norman means everything to me." And then we get the Spider-Man trope of checking himself out in a reflection and building glass. In this case, it looks like an homage to the black symbiote suit Peter Parker shot in the marketing for Spider-Man 3 in 2007. Here, it's the opposite, a pale white suit, which reminds many of his Future Foundation.
Yeah, that's what I said. The Future Foundation suit.
Future Foundation and the Secret Wars 2015 crossover.
Yeah, but in this universe, Osborn made it, which is, well, I guess it's his own separate universe. Yeah, it's his own separate universe, so I can't be mad at it. But yeah, it's a nice suit.
But for now, I think we're just going to call this his Oscorp suit. They have teased a few other looks for this series in the past. And this suit, interestingly, has some red soles on the boots, which makes you think there's some kind of interesting ability on the boots. And then we get the final
I doubt
image. And at the top of that looks like the Scorpion Stinger. So he's going to show up in the show as well. Show creator Jeff Trammell has revealed that a lot of heroes and villains can make an appearance on your friends.
Whoa. We got Dr. Octopus that look like Scorpion. We got Norman. We got Iron Man, Doctor Strange. Damn, who's that supposed to be? It's supposed to be Hammerhead? I want to say Hammerhead, but Hammerhead has a bigger head.
What do you mean by that?
No Diddy. We got Jonah. Looks like Jonah. The Speedster, Daredevil. Damn, who are all these characters?
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. We know.
Oh, I didn't even see that shit, bro. They got Chameleon as well. Hold up, Chameleon. That's all I can.
Spider-Man. We know that Charlie Cox will be voicing Daredevil, and Vincent D'Onofrio will be voicing Kingpin. Wilson Fisk.
That's so fucking dope.
Characters like Doctor Strange and Iron Man and Chameleon and Scorpion and Doc Ock, Rhino and Dr. Kirk Connors.
Okay, that's Rhino. Hello. That's Rhino. Okay, so who the hell are these guys?
And Doc Ock, Rhino, and Dr. Kirk Connors Lizard, or maybe before he's Lizard. That's why I think this show might be better off not being connected to the MCU. In the same way that X-Men 97, I think, was better being in its own animated universe where a lot of these characters could appear and they could just be their true selves without having to link to every node of the canonicity of the MCU across like 30 titles in 12 years. Some of them being not that great. If it's animated, you have the freedom to really
we can acknowledge that
and have versions of these characters that make sense to this character. Also, bit of an announcement here. New Rockstars has a channel membership where you can just hit that join button down by subscribe and get access to some really great custom emotes. We have a new support tier that we just rolled out. Access to select.
That's it. I'm gonna like the video. What the comments gotta say? It's an Elseworld story. People relax. It may be that, but still, they didn't have to do that. They still didn't have to do that. They people are gonna make excuses for the show, but they shouldn't have to do that. If it's part of their character, why change it? Why change it, bro? There was no reason for them to change it. They just did it out of I don't even want to get in that subject, but Disney, man, they just can't grasp the thought of not changing like things that wasn't broke. If it's not broke, don't fix it, bro. Like I don't understand that. I don't understand that, bro. Like, you want cool points just because you made him black. Who cares? Who cares that he's black? You could just make sure the story's good, bro. The story's good and the voice acting good. You got it. There was no reason to change the race of an iconic character, an iconic Spider-Man villain. There was no reason. There was no reason at all, man. I just don't. I don't get that. I'm getting upset again. Bro. That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense, bro. Someone said the series is gonna be amazing. Hopefully, Michael Mando will return as Mac Guardian Scorpion. That would be nice. But I personally believe it should have been a prequel to the MCU Spider-Man. It would have been nice to get more of his backstory, more of him being fleshed out instead of being under Tony Stark's wing. You know, it's like, because he desperately needs to be fleshed out. Because at this point, every movie he's been in is like, someone has to bail him out. In first movie, Iron Man. Second movie, Fury. Well, Scroll Fury, but but the third movie, we got the two Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, OG Spider-Man. And, you know, it's just I would like to see his character more fleshed out. That's my biggest issue with our current Spider-Man. It's just he needs his own, you know, he needs his own story. You know, like I like him. Don't get me wrong, I love him, but he just needs his own story. I just don't get it. I don't get it, man. I think it's man. It's like I want to like this show because it's Spider-Man. It's my favorite superhero of all time, but man, I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's gonna be a good show, man. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. They lost me with the race change, bro. They lost me, man. They really lost me. But if you enjoy my reaction, I hope you leave a like on this video. Comment your thoughts on this, so I'm not the only one that feels this way, because I feel like I'm going insane. Bro, it's been your boy AJ.Muckkk, man. Appreciate you guys dropping by. I'll see you next time.